Okay. Squashing your fears and doubts of Google Ads. So, a lot of people, when they're first starting off, the number one mistake they make is making too many changes to the account. Like, because they don't know what they're doing. They don't understand what they're looking at, what to change. Oh, they see something bad. Oh, I gotta change this because my search impression share is too low, or do this and do that. And they're not keeping track of the changes they're making. They're just all over the place basically and have no process to hold them down on and keep themselves confident as they're working on it, because hey, it's not always butterflies and roses or whatever they say the phrase is when you launch an account, and they just don't always start getting leads right away. But the worst thing you can do is have a proven concept that has worked for X, Y, and Z client, and then automatically, if it doesn't work in the same time frame that all the other ones have, go ahead and make a bunch of changes and really mess up your process and your success. So here are a couple like bullet points I'm gonna go over, and then maybe go into it a little bit more in depth. But you're your own worst enemy, and so is your client. So what I mean by that is, when you doubt yourself and you go ahead and make these changes, you're shooting yourself in the foot. And then also when the client reaches out to you and saying, hey, this is performance isn't working out, this is great. You didn't set the expectations up front maybe properly, but them reaching out to you doesn't really mean much in the very beginning, because you're still figuring it out. You're still getting, ironing out all the kinks. You need them to get leads themselves. You need them to figure out stuff on their end. Like, you gotta listen to their calls, or they need to make sure those calls are being handled properly and answered well and converted on their end. So there's a lot going on when you first start a relationship with a client, and you're building that trust and those processes. So if you have doubts and if you have fears of anything, don't make changes. Let it plan out. Build the data. You really need those like 500 to 1,000 clicks to have an actual information on that specific area and industry and whatever it is you're marketing, to make educated decisions so that your client can have the best foot moving forward. So don't listen to them very much off the beginning. There's only so much you can do. Understand that there has to be like thresholds. So like, hey, the client spent $5,000, they're in an easy market and didn't get any leads that month. Okay, something's broken. You don't have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed. Go ahead and check the conversion tracking, go ahead and check the landing page, go ahead and check everything. You gotta make sure you have all your settings in place always, and that's how you can have the confidence as you're running the campaign that, okay, things are gonna work out properly because everything's working. It's just up to the campaign to perform, the keywords to be right, the negative keywords to be in the right place, the ads to say the right copy, the landing page. So the good thing is I'm providing you a lot of this in this course. So the course itself will have squashed a lot of fears and doubts once you've completed it. But I want to make it up clear and up front in this section that you need to be patient, know when to act, trust the process, learn from your mistakes. Always do that. There's going to be mistakes. There's no ifs, ands, or whatever about it. So always learn from them and notate them and write them down and make SOPs or processes so that you can avoid them in the future. Exactly, especially when you start growing your team and hiring employees, you want to have these in place already and have them review it beforehand, that first week that they get started, so they understand like, okay, there's a process for this. So if I ever see something like this in an ad account, jump to this or talk or bring it up in a weekly meeting or whatever, so that it doesn't create into a larger problem than it needs to be. So just say you're working by yourself, you don't have a team, you don't have anybody, you're just tackling this on, you want to have 30 clients yourself. I really recommend joining communities. Reddit is a good one. Join Discord chats. Join this chat, this Facebook group for this course. Join other ones. Just make sure, whatever you're reading, ask questions. Don't take everything you see as truth. A lot of people like BS out there, especially like on YouTube and videos, for them to buy your course. That's why I made this course first before I have anything going on with like my network online. But communicate these wins and losses you're having and stucks, and see what other people say and get feedback from that. There's no, you're going to be anonymous, so nobody's going to know anything. Just use random usernames or your girlfriend's Google Ads account, Facebook account to ask these questions if you want. But stay up to date. Something literally changes every freaking week. So I think in the past like 3 months or 6 months, maybe even, like Performance Max had like no negative keywords you can add. Then you could add 300 if you called Google. Then they bumped it up to 1,000, and now you can have like your negative keyword list attached to your Performance Max campaign. So I don't know if it's still a limit of 1,000 or whatever is in the list. They'll apply it, and then you can kind of play around with the keywords of what you add and see the performance change. But that's a whole other video. So just make sure you're staying up to date, because what you don't know and what's changing will murder you, in the sense of like that can cause a drop in performance. And it's not only what's changing on in Google Ads and what updates they're doing to their algorithms or whatever. It's in life. Like, we have really high inflation now, so cost per clicks might be going up. There's a war going on which causes a lot of scarcity and maybe doesn't want people to be searching and investing and spending things that don't provide any value to their life and are wants, not needs. So keep in mind that when you're searching for clients and whatever it is that you want to target and market, you want to make sure it's something that's kind of a necessity for the nation that you're in. Don't doubt what you're doing versus what Google recommends when they call and reach out. So there are going to be calls, and there's going to be Google reaching out either via the recommendations within the Google Ads account. Review them, dismiss them if you think they make sense, like a negative keyword is conflicting with a keyword. See which keyword you're targeting and see which negative is, and remove one or the other that you want to leave. That's a great one. It helps me all the time, because if you're managing a lot of accounts, it's bound to happen. If you add this list to this account and there's cities in the negative list, whatever. Point is, that's a good one, but there's going to be a bunch of bogus recommendations like expanding to display. You don't want to do that if it doesn't make sense for you. There are definitely things you want to A/B test later down the road on a smaller scale, on a small percentage of their budget, but don't venture out from your strategy initially, especially if it's a new client or whatever. And when they call you and they tell you, hey, you switch to maximize conversions or max clicks, or don't use manual CPC, or hey, make sure you put DSA ads, or whatever it is they recommend, like, I honestly ignore them for the first 6 months and only bother them like, hey, if my ads aren't getting impressions and all the other ones have in other accounts, if there's issues, like technical issues that maybe is going on behind the scenes, if like a website gets flagged for some reason, go ahead and reach out to Google. Ideally, you want like a dedicated partner. Make sure you sign up to Google Partners so that once you qualify for that, you get it instantly, and your clients start getting $500 ad credits. They're going to love that, and also leave some room for error when you're launching it, because launching it is the most riskiest part of the whole process. That's where mistakes most likely are going to happen, and if the mistake does happen, that's could be like detrimental to the whole campaign. So that's why there's like a 24-hour review, a 3-day review, a 1-week review of the setup and the settings to make sure everything's going on right, because like a digit of a phone number or whatever in the Google Tag Manager got messed up could cause like long-term issues. So you really want to make sure the setup is correct, and you can have that peace of mind moving forward. Then always reference this course, any videos that you didn't take as many notes on or whatnot. You can always come back and hear me talk my talk and go from there. And then message me. If you're gonna message me something, try to do like a Loom video, send me a screenshot. If it's a video, please keep it like under 2-3 minutes. Be conscious of my time. But if not, message me a paragraph of what's going on, and then maybe we can hop on a call and I'll help you out with whatever it could be. And then always work smart, not hard. What do I mean by this? Don't just go crazy and always put in 8 hours a day and to all your ad accounts and just constantly hustle and all that stuff. Like, no, schedule yourself out, follow the processes. Everything will work out better that way, because you can only optimize an account so much in a given time period for you to see the results of those changes and those optimizations. If you're not doing that, if you're not keeping track of what's being changed when it's changed, then you're not benefiting anybody except Google, because they're going to just keep making money off your client. So keep that in mind and don't forget it. Let me think of anything else. I think that's all. I mean, there's going to be a lot of success for hopefully all my students and you guys, because the way I'm setting up this course itself, I'm providing you all the tools, I'm providing you all the processes, I'm providing you, spreadsheet templates, document templates. Hopefully the whole internet doesn't just go ahead and run with it. I mean, it's to your best interest that the less people have these documents, these processes and strategies, you just don't get abused. So keep that in mind and appreciate anybody that doesn't share anything with anybody outside of this course. If anything, recommend them the course, and we'll go from there. I'll figure out a way, if anything, to lock the videos and the documents, not the videos. But yeah, guys, I want to keep this course personal. I want to feel like we're talking one-to-one, and that way, as we go through it, you get more and more confident, and yeah, it benefits everybody. So until next one, thank you for watching. Stay confident. Peace.